Now we are really getting started. Hello everybody. Thank you for braving the elements and coming to speak about this important issue. I'm Mark Levine, City Council Member, Chair of the Council's Jewish Caucus. We're joined by many colleagues in government. We have just arrived from Albany, Councilmember Walter Mosley from Brooklyn as well. We have Councilmember Chaim Deutsch from Queens, our newest colleague, technically the junior member, but senior in many ways, Barry Grudenchik. And we have Dan Garodnik from Manhattan. We have Rory Lansing from Queens here as well. There he is. Sorry, I'm being blind. And we may be joined by more shortly. We'll be hearing from all these fine leaders. I want to acknowledge the incredible work of the Simon Wiesenthal Center. And we're joined by Rabbi Abraham Cooper, who will be speaking to us shortly. With the constant den of news about anti-Semitic attacks in the world, there's a danger that we become numb, that it begins to feel routine even, and that would just be a terrible outcome. We know what happens when we minimize this type of hatred and bigotry. We must therefore constantly call attention anew to the persistent scourge of anti-Semitism in America and globally. And we need to call out incidents as they occur so the world understands that sadly this evil has not yet died. And I want to commend the Wiesenthal Center for doing just this by bringing attention to 10 of the most egregious and most reprehensible anti-Semitic and anti-Israel incidents of the past year. Thankfully, none of these occurred in New York City. But let's not be naive. Anti-Semitism and anti-Semitic attacks remain a threat here in New York City, as anyone who follows the news knows. And while they haven't risen, thank God, to the level of some of the most deadly attacks we've seen worldwide, we know that as the city which is home to one of the largest communities of Jews on earth, and where the threat of terrorism is never far away, we must remain ever vigilant. And I'm proud that on the council we've been taking action to address that threat locally through passage recently of a law which will provide, for the first time in the city's history, security guards at non-public schools, including yeshivas, under the incredible leadership of Councilmember Greenfield, who I expect will be joining us shortly, and with the support of every council member here and many others in an incredibly diverse coalition. We're going to continue to confront this as a body. Oh, and here he is right now. We were just speaking about Councilmember Greenfield's leadership on Intro 65. We're going to continue to confront the threat of anti-Semitism as a body here in New York City, around the nation, and around the world. And I'm thrilled that the Wiesenthal Center is helping bring this issue to the fore. I do, on that note, want to acknowledge and ask to speak Rabbi Abraham Cooper from the Wiesenthal